Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Auditorium, and hopefully you're enjoying the beautiful pictures from Veterans Auditorium. But if you have to be on the road later today or at the office without a TV, I want to let you know that the audio portion of these tournament games can be heard not only in Iowa, not only in the United States, but worldwide, as a matter of fact. You can go to www.ibn.ihigh.com. So if you're on the road or at the office or whatever yet tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, think about clicking on, and hopefully you're better at getting on the internet than I am. But there you go, www.ibn.ihigh.com. Of course, you could just go to the Athletic Association website as well, iahsaa.org. Okay, we're under a minute here in the warm-ups. Teams headed back to the bench to get some final comments. Gary, this one, well, a rematch from earlier in the year, as Linn and Iowa City West have towed the tape once before, and Iowa City West managed to pull off the upset and beat Linn. I don't know that it was an upset, but did pull off the win and beat Linn, their only loss of the year.
It's a contrast in styles. You've got a club, Steve Bergman, with Iowa City West. I don't think he has, and I'm not taking any away from his kids, I don't think he has the overall personnel, as good a personnel as they do at Linn. Now, he's going to have to limit possessions, and he'll try to do that by slowing the game down, have a lot of patience, take extremely good shots. On the other hand, you're going to look at Linn. They like to get up, down, score a little bit more. They're probably going to try and push the game.
It's going to be a good one. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Two teams that know plenty about each other, and no doubt glad to get one more go opposite each other. Now let's join the public address announcer, Father Craig Collison.
It's time for basketball. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Veterans Memorial Auditorium and the 2005 Boys State Basketball Tournament. This semifinal round contest in Class 4A features the Trojans of Iowa City West and the Lions of Linn. Let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches of both schools. For the Trojans, number 00, Brian Zobek. Number 12, Jordan Stiermer. Number 20, Yasin Deo. Number 30, Apurwa Pokrel. Number 32, Mike Montgomery. Number 34, Josh Smith. Number 42, Makatsi Rakundo. Number 44, Brick Carter. Number 50, Nick Atz. And number 52, Matt Heflin. The assistant coaches of the Trojans, Mr. Andy Place, Mr. Nate Fries, and Mr. Marcus Lelux. Here are the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Lions. Number 1, Blair Harris. Number 4, Mark Gladson. Number 5, Blake Zundell. Number 10, James Hagstrom. Number 21, Alex Craig. Number 24, Jordan Printy. Number 25, Nick Erdman. Number 30, Ryan Gass. Number 33, Andrew Bliss. And number 51, Brad Larson. The assistant coaches of the Lions, Mr. Troy Hansen, Mr. Chris Robertson, Mr. Tony Nickel, and Mr. Steve Meeker. And now, here are your starting lineups for the 20-4 Trojans of Iowa City West and the 23-1 Lions of Linn-Mar. For the Trojans, a 6-foot junior, number 10, Ali Farokmanesh. For the Lions, a 6'3" senior, number 15, Adam Novak. For Iowa City West, a 6'2" senior, number 14, Ben Krishillis. For Linn-Mar, a 6'4" junior, number 23, Jason Bohannon. For the Trojans, a 6-foot junior, number 22, Michael Walker. For the Lions, a 6'1" senior, number 32, Drew Olmstead. For Iowa City West, a 6'1" senior, number 23, Cody Roosh. For Linn-Mar, a 6'7" senior, number 45, Andy Kemple. For the Trojans, a 6'5" senior, number 24, R.J. Jermick. And for the Lions, a 6'11" senior, number 52, Travis Nelson. The head coach of the Iowa City West Trojans, Mr. Steve Bergman. The head coach of the Linn-Mar Lions, Mr. Mark Hutchison. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the officials assigned to this contest by the Iowa High School Athletic Association. The referee, Mr. Richard Peterson of Johnston. The umpire, Mr. Steve Bebout of Woodward. The bench official, Mr. Randy Druvinga of Waverly. And now...
This Thompson Sports telecast is brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. We're proud to sponsor the Iowa High School Boys Basketball Championships. By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Iowa Bankers Association, where your future is our focus. Iowa Banks. By Option Herbicide. Option, grass control that puts you in control. And sponsored by Iowa, where you can have it all. All right, we're about ready to get going for a semifinal number 2. Travis Nelson, the big man in the middle for Linn-Mar Marion, steps in against R.J. Jurek for Iowa City West. They can't get it started fast enough, I don't think, Gary. Waited around all day.
I know what, number 15, Adam Novak, ready to play. When they introduced him, he came out of that tunnel like a shoot. He was ready.
On fire like a rocket. Linn-Mar controls the opening tip of this second 4A semifinal. The winner will get Bettendorf coming up tomorrow night. Nelson on the baseline picks up the first foul of the game. And let's take a look at Gary's Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Iowa. Keys of the game, beginning with Iowa City West. I know you want to keep it low scoring, right, Gary?
They'd like to keep it a low scoring game, I'm sure, and reduce the possessions, and they've got to stay close on the rebounding. Linn-Mar, a much bigger team.
Travis Nelson hits a little baseline two-point basket to give Linn-Mar the advantage to get started here. We'll check the Iowa City West keys to the game coming up in just a bit. That's Farokmanesh in the corner. Can't get it to go. But they get the offensive rebound as Jurek pulls it down before the Lions pull away. Bohannon out at the top of the circle. He's going to drive and throw it off the glass. Nothing there. And here comes Iowa City West.
Good dig underneath by Iowa City West there to take that ball away from Kemple. Kemple had a big rebounding game in that first game against Ankeny.
Now let's check those Linn-Mar keys to the game, Gary.
Yeah, and I think Linn-Mar would like to force the tempo against a team that wants to slow down. They don't want to sit there and just play defense and let them use the ball. And I think Bohannon did not have a real good game in that opener. I didn't think he went to the ball, demanded the ball as much as I saw him last year in this tournament. So I think he's the key, have a good shooting night. And also he's terrific with the ball and passing the ball and setting up teammates for easy baskets off the break.
Roosh converts twice at the line. Cody Roosh converts, and we've got a 2-2 ball game. The full court pressure from the Trojans. Got to slow down the Lions and get out and take it, as you just saw Bohannon do right there. Take it baseline to baseline, and now here comes Iowa City West.
2-on-1.
Barakmanesh can't get it to go.
Those are plays you can't afford to miss against this Linn-Mar team. You got to take advantage of those easy ones.
Adam Novak converts off of the fast break. Linn-Mar with a 4-2 advantage. Linn-Mar knows how to win games. They were 27-0 over the last 2 years until they got beat earlier this year by Iowa City West in a 61-58 game. And if you go back over the long haul, 39 of their last 40. This is a talented bunch at Linn-Mar. Schillis almost has it stripped away.
This team will be very patient, penetrate, look to kick out.
That's Walker, the spin move we talked about during that opening game. Michael Walker doesn't convert.
And his dad, of course, Rich Walker. I just talked with him behind the bench in between games, an assistant coach at Iowa. Sure, he's proud. His son, Michael Walker, who also has another year left, just a junior. They're playing for Iowa City West.
Bohannon on the drive. Nice little inside feed. Gets it into Adam Novak, and he converts it. Nice little move. Great hands from Bohannon.
Bohannon has great vision, and he delivers the ball at the right time. There's a lot I like about him. Come down on the break. He's taken it himself a couple times already, but he has court vision.
That's Schillis from outside, off the back of the iron. Can't find an offensive rebound, and Linn-Mar will take it, catch a breath, and set in the half-court offense.
Man-for-man defense, they play tough. Look at him fighting over the screen as Schillis.
A hold, I think, in the inside against the big man, Andy Kemple.
Well, you got Kemple at 6'7", 260. You got Travis Nelson, 6'11", 225. So Iowa City West really has their hands full. They have Jarek, R.J. Jarek at 6'5". And that's the only guy of any size. They come with Matt Heflin, who's also 6'5", 200 pounds, a senior.
Cody Roosh picked up the early foul there.
Iowa City West really gets after you defensively. They would like, a low-scoring game.
Bohannon from the elbow. Nifty little play, almost. Not quite. Kemple tries to pick up the steal and can't. Iowa City West has to play good defense, too, because, like you mentioned, they just don't have the artillery that Linn-Mar has.
No, that's right. They want to limit the possessions, and Kemple that time trying for a steal. He's trying to turn around favor there with what's happening to him, because when he's been getting the rebound and coming down with it, the littler guys for Iowa City West are digging and stripping him a couple times here early.
Oh, we got a travel call. Cody Roosh just picked up the dribble just a little bit there, and the officials quickly spot the travel.
That's not in Coach Steve Bergman's game plan, those turnovers. His is to play solid, eliminate everything down, and play as solid as you can. And that's the way they win basketball games.
From three, and it won't go. Almost for the second time it won't. Nonetheless, an offensive rebound. Try it one more time, and this time it will go for Drew Olmstead. 40% free throw shooter, and just like that, Coach Bergman's got to take a timeout. It's 9-2. Linn-Mar Marion out of the blocks in a hurry. Quick look at Olmstead's three-point basket coming up. The pitch back around the defense. Olmstead square to the basket. As I mentioned, Olmstead a 40% shooter from the three-point arc, 42 of 106 coming into this tournament. 6'1" senior for Coach Mark Hutchinson out of Linn-Mar Marion. Hutchinson Been at Linn-Mar since 1995. Some Western Iowa roots to him. Went to Westmore College out in Lamar's. He's got a 218-165 career. Both these coaches have winners. Coach Bergman picked up his 300th win, I know, earlier in the tournament.
That's right, in the sub-state. He played for a good friend of mine, Jim Broussard, at Grundy Center, his high school basketball. And his old coach, Broussard, is a golfing partner of mine, time to time.
It's almost that time of the year, too. Days like today. Oh, I guess it did cloud out just a bit.
Good screen on the baseline, getting wide open for the shot. That's what they work for. They work to get the good high percentage shots.
That's Cody Roosh with the two-pointer.
Oh, nice block.
Big spot, huh?
Well, that's an unlucky break for Iowa City West there. Makes a great block and right in the hands of the big guy, Travis Nelson. All he has to do is stick it back for two.
This turn spin move won't go for Cody Roosh that time, but they get the offensive rebound. Jurek inside. Manages to get the hoop and avoid the foul as he knocked Andy Kemple to the court, but
I think Andy must have helped that a little bit at 260, don't you?
You're saying Andy might be a thespian? A turnover by Linn-Mar, and we'll take a break with the Lions leading at 11-6. The defending champs out in front early. Jason Bohannon with the nifty little feed inside, and Adam Novak converts. We're coming back.
Linn-Mar leads by 5 here in the opening quarter, and here's 2 of the easiest points again. Heflin from behind blocks it right into the hands of Nelson. He lays it up for 2 of his 4 points.
52-52. It just isn't supposed to work that way necessarily.
Well, the old saying, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
That's a pretty good example. 11-6, Linn-Mar out in front, the defending state champions. Looking for a bit of revenge against the only team that beat them during the regular season in Iowa City West. There's your field goal totals. You can see Linn-Mar having a good go of it, 5 of 10 so far.
Iowa City West doing a great job. It's just all out hustling and scrambling and coming up with a number of offensive boards so far.
A nice little move. Brick Carter slipped into the lineup. Brick Carter, a 6'5", 200-pounder. Also, Jordan Sturmer is in the lineup now for Iowa City West as Coach Bergman makes a couple changes.
Not a very good name for a basketball player, Brick. You know, his folks might not thought he's going to be a basketball player. You don't like those bricks.
Bohannon doesn't throw many bricks either. He throws that one in from 3. Well, they must have thought they were going to have a carpenter on that end.
All right. Brick Carter didn't throw up a brick either on that other end, and he did a nice job of getting on top of Travis Nelson and taking away his advantage of size. I talked about in the first game, you go against the big guy, get your body close to him, do not give him space to get up and block shots.
Michael Walker can't get it to go, and the Lions with the long lead pass from Bohannon. But they can't convert.
Oh, Jordan Sturmer with a good blocker behind, but a nice pass by Bohannon again. Looks like it was going to lead to a cinch 2.
Iowa City West still looking for its first 3-point basket.
Get Carter that time trying to take Nelson a little ways away from the basket.
Michael Walker draws the penetration and pitches it back, and now the Trojans work it, look for a good shot. Heflin inside, trying to post up on the inside there against Nelson. Bohannon gets the takeaway. Look out here. Oh! Jason Bohannon, one of 2 returning all-tournament picks from a year ago from Linn-Mar, the defending champ. He and Travis Nelson both all-tournament selections a year ago, and showing why. The 6'4", 180-pounder. Big ups there and a put away.
Walker threw the bad pass, but he thought the guy was going to come out, and he went back, and it just left it right out there for Bohannon to take it and go all the way. He did the smart thing. He just didn't go in and commit the foul. Wide open underneath. Nice look.
Inside to Heflin. Nice feed as he found the open pathway there, and Heflin's able to convert it.
Jordan Sturmer, 6'1", just a freshman. Played 12 minutes in the opening game. He had 5 points and 2 rebounds. Nice experience for a freshman. Play here in the state tournament. His very first year. This guy's got range. Oh, man. Wow. That is big-time shot.
That's the first quarter. Bohannon finishes it in just the way Lion fans wanted to see on the three-point basket. 19-10, the defending champs are out in front. Look out below. We'll be right back after this from your local station.
Congratulations, Linn Lions.
Time to tip off quarter number 2 as Iowa City West and Linn-Mar go at it. And no doubt in the talents of this young man, Gary.
No, Jason Bohannon, that was a deep shot. Here he anticipated well, steals the pass. Walker turns it loose, goes up and stuffs it. And he's got Linn-Mar out to a 9-point lead at the quarter break.
Of course, his dad, Gordy Bohannon, the former quarterback at the University of Iowa, big Hawkeye alum. Lots of coaches looking at Jason Bohannon, just a junior. He can go coast to coast and everybody knows his name. No doubt about it. Iowa City West looks to start the second quarter, get something good. Pitch to the outside, that's good. The three-point basket will work as Jordan Sturmer hits it.
A little freshman coming off the bench and being productive right here, but a good job by Iowa City West of penetrating the gap. They're a little quicker, they can beat it, and then kick out for the open shots. And there's when you have size, you can stay right with it, and there's nobody around him.
Nelson misses the first, but gets the second. Awful easy on the inside for Travis Nelson.
Matt Heflin in there, 52. They got him. Thought they were going to post him on the weak side, but he had a great game in the first one. 6 or 7 from the field, 14 points. He's only averaged, by the numbers they gave me, 3 points a game. But he had a terrific opening game.
Iowa City West working hard, looking for the good shot. Haven't been able to find one yet.
This is sometimes frustrating to a team like Linn-Mar because they want to get it. They'd rather, I'm sure, trade possession with you. This club is going to wait. They have a lot of patience. I call it old-time basketball right here. Move the basketball. You have no clock, so you can take your time. That's what you can't afford to do.
Linn-Mar is good enough defensively. They'll sit there and hopefully wait for the mistake. Linn-Mar on the inside to Nelson. He doesn't get it, doesn't draw iron, in fact, but nobody else crashes the board. And Travis Nelson gets the hoop there. A nice replay. Travis Nelson, in fact, a lot of kids in this game already having plenty of coaches on the college scene look at him. Nelson has already committed to go to Wyoming and play Division I basketball. Good hustle there, even though Bohannon didn't get the hoop. Good hustle. Now let's check those key stats of the game. Gary, you've got your Menards key stats of the game.
Well, you see the shooting. It always takes care of a lot of things. Linn-Mar, 53%. Of course, Bohannon's helped there. You got 3 out of 5. Rebounding, that's surprisingly good. We said Iowa City West had to stay close. The other thing is turnovers. A team like Iowa City West cannot turn the ball over.
They trail it by 8, 21-13. That's 14 for Schillis there on the outside. Lost to Farak Manesh. Drives, draws the foul on the inside as Alex Craig can't resist, reaches his arm out and commits the foul, and that'll send Farouk Manesh to the free throw line.
Farouk Manesh is the only player on the Iowa City West team in the average in double figures. He's at 14.9. Linn-Mar, meanwhile, has 3 guys in double figures. Nelson at 12.2. You have Drew Olmstead an even 10, and of course Jason Bohannon, number 2 scorer in this tournament in 4A competition, 21.2 points a game. You get a little push there by Zobek.
I was just looking up his name. I didn't have him on my score sheet. Brian Zobek checks in the lineup, a big, strong 210-pound senior.
Look at this defense here by Iowa City West on the pressure. They lead up. What I mean, lead, they play in front of their man. They're not protecting the back. They'll look to recover because they're quicker, but they puts a lot of pressure. This guy can break you down. Nice job.
Nice lead pass inside to Blake Zundel.
I tell you what's important about that. I talk about this young guy getting the ball to people at the right time. If he hangs on to that ball, another dribble or another stride, that play is not going to be there. He lays it out with a long bounce pass. It's soft, picks it up, and lays it into the glass. That's what a passer and a guy can see the play ahead of him.
Good vision and unselfish.
Right.
Yep, no doubt about it. Rockmanesh inside, forces the shot, gets it to go. Gets it to go over the defensive Alex Craig, so he's fortunate there.
Well, if you're the Linn-Mar coach, Mark Hutchison, you can't fault the defense there. He makes a really tough shot.
Yep.
They got numbers as they get it to the middle. Good pass.
Nice feed to Krashilis. Runs the floor. Both men ran the floor and then made the nice pass.
Well, Iowa City West, Mark Hutchison taking a timeout
Quick
here.
timeout. They cut it to 5, 23-18. As Iowa City West is cut into the gap. Here you go right here. Michael Walker again.
They'll break off opportunities. Draws the big men to him in a nice bounce pass. And you see the shot going up there. Krashilis getting it. Nice job by Walker. A little takes the defensive man away with that change of pace. They both come to him because he beat Bohannon. That frees it up underneath. Nice little left-hand shot for the deuce.
Yep, drew the second defender and left the open man. And Iowa City West has to convert when they get those chances. The easy basket won't always be there. When it is, Coach Bergman's team really needs to take advantage of it.
I think Iowa City West, we talk about him being slow and won a low-scoring game, and they take their time in the offensive set, but they will run off opportunities. Steals like they did the last time. If they can get something going, they're going to run then, but they're not just a running team.
Here comes Linn-Mar. Bohannon's pass inside, and they'll have to waste a timeout as Drew Olmstead hit the deck just as the pass got to him and had to take a timeout or be saddled with a traveling call more than likely. So we'll take another quick break. See what I mean here? Bohannon, little bounce pass. Rockmanesh is coming on the defense, and the feet just slip out from underneath Olmstead there.
Nothing you can do there but get new tread.
Yeah.
Maybe new shoes.
Let's take a look. We got some big guys on the court here. Let's take a look at how the play inside in the post is going. Linn-Mar out in front of Iowa City West. 12-8 right now. Both Nelson, I should say Nelson on the inside there. Kemple, and we've got Heflin, a big kid on the inside of the post for Iowa City West.
Pretty good, though, for Iowa City West. And you think back to Linn-Mar, they got that one with Nelson where they block a shot and fell right in his hand, so you only got a 2-point spread really in there. So Iowa City West, they're a hustling team, fundamentally sound, do a good job. But their kids are going to scratch. They make up for lack of size and whatnot.
They've got the
hustle plays.
Allowed 49 points a game coming into this. That's second best in the 4A tournament. So it just goes to highlight exactly what you mentioned.
Yeah, and you can look at Linn-Mar. They give up 52.4 points a game, but things vary on how you play the game. If you slow the ball down, limit possessions, your defensive average is better. Linn-Mar's at 52.4 can be just as good because they're going up and down the floor and scoring more points.
Rockmanesh touches the baseline as he drives under the hoop, and Linn-Mar will get the ball back on the turnover.
This has got to be disturbing right now as you look at those turnovers. 5-0 turnovers to Iowa City West. That's going to be disturbing to Steve Bergman because they pride themselves on taking care of the basketball, and that's how they win games. You got the points difference. 5-0 for Linn-Mar.
Michael Walker with the defense on Bohannon there. Bohannon off the dribble, able to just jump up and score it.
You know, he was really, I thought, kind of docile in the opening game against Ankeny. They won it so easy, and that may have been the reason. 70-44 over Ankeny. He hit 5 out of 13 shots, and I think he played about 3/4 of the game. He sat out one entire quarter, but I didn't see him in that game demand the ball like I saw him last year in this tournament championship as a sophomore. Today he seems more aggressive.
Rockmanesh forcing the defense, but Krashilis commits the foul out on the perimeter. Back with much more from Veterans Memorial Auditorium. Check out the play. Bohannon, the nice bounce pass on the inside, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to Vets Auditorium. Halfway home almost. Second quarter action in our second 4A semifinal, and we'll take a look at the rebounds. Dead even almost. Iowa City West, Coach Bergman has to like that. There's your second chance points.
Now Linn-Mar with a little advantage there off those rebounds. A little bit bigger kids can take it back up, or Iowa City West a lot of times to take it back outside.
One pass on the inbound, and Bohannon scores it. Bohannon now with a dozen in this ball game. Michael Walker into the paint, gets shut off.
Now Bohannon had 14 points in the Ankeny game. As you said, well, he's got a dozen already. He had only 2 assists in the Ankeny game, and he's got, I counted, I think he should have 3 assists
already,
right
yeah.
now.
Yep. Steps it up here to this afternoon. Crowd behind us, you might hear him shouting, one-man team.
Well,
pretty
it's
good
not a bad one-man team.
I don't think I agree, but he's a pretty good one-man, that's for sure.
He might be producing like a one-man team right now, but he's a complete player.
Michael Walker in the paint, drives up, jumps, and gets it to roll over the iron. Walker with his first points of the basketball game, and the lead is 7 for Linn-Mar. Oh, nifty behind the back. Hung on to the control.
Nice pass.
Gets it inside, and Novak converts it.
Not many guys are going to make that play for you right there. Exceptional skills. Easy tool. That's what great players always do, at no matter at what level. They make other players around them better, and that's what you should do. Take your shots when you've got it, but when you can make plays for teammates and make the easy play, that's what you want to do. And any kid listening out there, that's what where you ought to gear your game to. Not for yourself and your teammates.
How you can make somebody else better.
Right.
Sturmer had the basket there. I tell you what, Gary, I'm impressed with the freshman for Coach Bergman. Comes into the game, got 5 points in this ball game. Is the second leading shooter from the three-point line. Is just a freshman.
He's played with poise. I imagine a young kid, a freshman, coming into the barn here for his first time, the last time for everybody else. But playing with that much poise, I love to see it. No matter what team they're playing for, I love to see those young kids play well.
Bohannon falls to the floor, does not get the shot to go, and come back to Iowa City West on the out of bounds.
Well, physical play, letting them play on the shot and on the rebound. These teams know what to expect from one another. As you said, they've played, and Iowa City West had the best of it in the first matchup.
61-58, that was 13 games ago. You can bet that Linn-Mar has been waiting for a chance to get back into the win column against the Trojans.
I like that play right there. Matt Heflin, 6'5", 200. They isolate him on the side going against the big guy, Travis Nelson. He should be quicker than him and able to beat him. And he's going to go for the line for 2. I like the job right there to Steve Bergman trying to take advantage of the situation, maximizing what his team can do.
Heflin hits the first of 2. Heflin, a 66% free throw shooter. Was 6'5", 200 pounds. Second one rattles home as well. Heflin with 4 now in the ball game, 4 points. And they're back to within 5 are the Trojans.
What you got to worry about with Bohannon when you pressure him. If he beats you, then he's a master when he's got numbers.
Tip tapped around, almost the turnover. Heflin's going to get tagged with the holding call, I think, down in the paint.
Iowa City West, they're big guys. They've got a big task ahead of them down there. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, and they're smaller. They're not so small themselves, but they're small compared to the guys they're going against. And Nelson and Kemple.
Yep. There's a 3 ball from Bohannon that won't go. Karakdanesh comes up with the rebound. Gets tagged as he tries to get on the break. Hang on to the possession, though.
I like to comment by Michael Walker. I think it's today's paper. He said, we practice defense 90% of the
I saw
time,
that.
and it pays off. He said, I'd like to practice some threes once in a while, though. He said,
Yeah.
every kid loves to shoot it.
Yeah. That's Michael with the ball there.
Boy, good recovery by the big kid that time, Nelson. He showed me some quickness. Getting to the baseline to cut it off.
Rockmanesh pulls up, stops, can't get it to go. Kimples pulls down the rebound.
And the other thing I noticed that Steve Bergman's got his team doing, which cuts down the running of Linn-Mar, is when the big guys rebound, they swarm a guy and get up there, and if you can't make the pass out, it gives you an extra count or count and a half for your defense to recover and get back.
Can't make that initial outlet, you can't get off and on the run. Offensive foul called on number 52. That's Nelson, his second personal. Travis Nelson. And with a three-point basket, the Trojans can be back to within 2. Under a minute, in fact, under 10 seconds in the half. Their chances here to go off on a good note. Rockmanesh from 3, can't get it to go, and that'll take us to the half. It's Linn-Mar Marion 29, Iowa City West 24, as the teams go to the locker room to talk about it. Nice look here. Bohannon to the hole. We'll be back right after this.
The Iowa Basketball Coaches Association honors members that have achieved 300, 400, or 500 victories during the season. This year, 8 coaches qualify for that honor. Collectively, these men have coached over 4,300 games and have directed their teams to wins 67% of the time. Presenting the awards are Jim Haig of Garner Hayfield, president of the Iowa Basketball Coaches Association, and Don Logan of Van Horn, executive secretary. Recognizing the 300 career winners, Steve Bergman of Iowa City West is in the locker room, but accepting his son, Corbin. Also with 300 wins from Remsen Union, Rocky Bork and his wife, Jane. Another 300 career winner from Carroll, Keith Stribe and his wife, Mary Jane. With over 300 wins from Sheldon, Claude Struve and his wife, Nancy. Another 300 career coach from Central Lee Donaldson, Clay Vass, wife Janet, and children Jake and Jill. With 400 career wins, Tom Goodman, West Central Valley Stewart, accompanied by his wife, Connie. With over 400 career victories, Mitch Osborne of Harlan, accompanied by his wife, Nancy, and son, Zach. And finally, with over 500 career wins, Coach Al Marshall of Cascade and his wife, Linda. Ladies and gentlemen, a fine round of applause for our career win coaches.
All right, we're at halftime as Linn-Mar, the defending champ, leads Iowa City West 29-24. Back with more after this from your local stations.
Watching the Boys High School State Basketball Championships on Fox 28.
The defending Class 4A state champs have a 5-point advantage at halftime of this 4A semifinal. Pretty much exactly what we had hoped for and expected for. A close game, back and forth, and time to sort through some first half baskets. Linn-Mar gets going here. Adam Novak on the inside. Nice little feed inside from Bohannon.
Then you'll come back and see Iowa City's West R.J. Jarek come in here on the inside. Gets it, fights his way through, gets it back in here. Now he comes up, frees himself out of a man, and lays it in for 2 points. Fighting for everything to get. Bohannon coming down, made the steal, and up for the stuff. He's 5 for 13 and 2 for 3 from the three-point line in that first half. And watch Walker here. Engages his man Bohannon, draws the other defensive man to him, as we pointed out during the game. Gives it off to Krashillis for an easy 2.
Let's see how things stack up at the break then. As we say, a pretty even game throughout this first half, although you can find a couple of differences. Look at the field goals there, 9 of 17, 13 of 26. Linn-Mar, not unexpectedly, has gotten off more shots. As Iowa City West, much more patience there. The three-point game obviously has favored the Lions so far there. Free throws. Linn-Mar hasn't even gotten to the line yet, Gary.
Well, that's something you'd expect Linn-Mar to get there with the big guys inside, but they've been fouling them before they can get a shot off. The big thing, look at that, we're the high school basketball. Iowa City West not happy with their 6 turnovers, but look at Linn-Mar, 1 turnover in a half of basketball. Don't happen to see that very often in high school basketball, 1 turnover and a half.
The points in the paint, 16-8. You'd think the boards would be lopsided, but they're not. Both teams, as we noted, they're 11 rebounds apiece, dead even at the break.
Yeah, pretty much everything equal. I think Linn-Mar got 2 more offensive rebounds, and therein lies maybe just the difference.
It's a difference of 5
They got 9 more shots, which is a difference to score those points in than what Iowa City West, mainly result of those extra 2 offensive rebounds and the 5 difference in the turnover ratio.
And that's not necessarily unexpected either. As we mentioned, Iowa City West is going to be more patient, want to work the ball, take some time off the clock, and Linn-Mar not afraid to get up there and make it a racehorse game. Enjoy that.
It's been a good basketball game.
That really has.
Basketball game.
In case you're just joining us, Bettendorf won the early semifinal. Bettendorf Bulldogs will play the winner of this game coming up Saturday night in the Class 4A championship game. And of course, championship is the word for later tonight, as we'll have the 1A and the 2A championship games coming up here from Veterans Auditorium. I don't know about you, Gary, but I've taken time to kind of look around the rafters a little bit, check out all the concession stands. Last time we get a chance to see a game in this building, probably tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. A basketball game anyhow. I think back to one thing I was very proud of. I happened to work the game, and it was Looking Bill from Fort Dodge and Jay Goodman. His dad was just out here receiving an award for a number of victories. But they beat the Russian junior team here after the year that Fort Dodge won the championship. And that was a great thing because the Russians were loaded with players.
Plenty more memories to come here as we roll along this afternoon at Veterans Auditorium. And, of course, 4 championships yet to be handed out. Back with the second half as Iowa City West and Linn-Mar loosen up right after this. This telecast is brought to you by Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Iowa, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association. By Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. By Menards. Menards is dedicated to service and quality. Save big money at Menards. And by the Iowa Gambling Treatment Program. If you or someone you love has a gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. No lectures, just help. Call now. It's Linn-Mar Marion and Iowa City West just about to get started the second half of this 4A semifinal. Important for Iowa City West to get off to a good start here, Gary.
Well, it is, and I think if they could get for Rokmanesh some easy shots. He struggled because it was tough defense, and they got to free him up a little bit more. For Iowa City West, it's about what they'd like, a low-scoring game, and they've done a good job of staying close rebounding. In fact, they're even, 11 apiece here. So the only thing has been the turnovers, and Linn-Mar has countered that because they have played with only 1 turnover. So
we'll check Linn-Mar's keys to the game coming up. Of course, Gary's keys to the game brought to you by Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Iowa. We are underway in the third quarter. Linn-Mar Marion will control. Nifty little inside pass, but unable to grab the handle. Nonetheless, the Lions hang on to it. Here you go, Gary.
Well, we said force the tempo. They've been out on the break, and they've got 2 or 3 baskets off the break by pushing it down against the press. And a lot of times it just takes 2 or 3 baskets to win a basketball game in the end. Bohannon, of course, I thought had a great first half. He shot 5 for 13, but I had him myself for 5 assists. I know they didn't give that many officially, but
yeah, I thought he had maybe a couple more as well.
Yeah.
That was Olmstead with the 3-point basket for Linn-Mar. and almost, I should say, Linn-Mar, the first to strike the scoreboard here in the second half.
That's, if you're Mark Hudson, then that's exactly the way that you'd like to come out. You had a 5-point lead, and you come out and score right off the first possession.
Put the pressure right back on Iowa City West. Yep.
Notice that first time down, it looked like Walker was going to cover up on Bohannon.
Out front, Cody Roosh. There's the dish to Walker. Looks at the basket. Manesh manages to handle the loose ball. Yeah, that's what you need. Patience. Nice little hoop. Roosh gets the basket.
They're playing a lot on what I call the weak side. Some call the weak side where the ball is. I call it where there's 2 guys and 3 on the opposite side. Iowa City West. Old school, I guess, there. I know the new school, a lot of them say the strong side's wherever the ball is. But they're playing here, which gives them room to operate, penetrate, and kick for the shot or get to the basket.
Travis Nelson converted there for the Lions. A little baseline move. And now Manesh tries to find a 3 but can't. Trojans get the board, though. Keep working hard on the inside. Heflin goes to the glass. Matt Heflin will score it. 200-pound senior works his way down low.
Good job by taking it to the baseline and then coming back into the basket and getting 2. Good recognition. Manesh, I think he was so wide open for the first time over there that he was surprised when he missed that shot.
Trojans take the ball away from Kemple. Andy Kemple can't hang on to it and get the timeout called. Here's what we're talking about for Iowa City West. The dish from Manesh. Matt Heflin on the baseline has his man sealed and works his way back right over the iron.
Nice job watching when he gets in here to Heflin now. When he comes here, comes in, plants, doesn't travel. So many kids want to shuffle their feet as they go up, but plants, gets his legs underneath him, and then takes it up strong.
And when you get your legs underneath you like that, it allows you to make a big, strong move up. And
so many kids underneath, and particularly younger kids, they get under there, and right away they get quick feet, and they start moving them, trying to get position to get underneath.
Linn-Mar Marion making its 3rd trip to the state tournament. Champs in '83 and champs a year ago in 2004. Iowa City West, its 8th trip to Veterans Auditorium. Champs as well. Both these teams have some big trophies in the cabinet. Trojans won it in '77 and '98. As well as in 2000, so tournament tested programs here. Linn-Mar with the 6-point advantage. Offensive foul call down underneath.
Well, we got an offensive foul on Zobek, Brian. You can see these turnovers are just killing Steve Bergman, because that's what they pride himself on this team. He's just playing sound fundamentally.
Bergie wears his emotions on his sleeve, doesn't he? Not ever hard to figure out what he's thinking. You can usually tell by the body language. Bohannon at the elbow. Won't go, but the big offensive rebound by Kemple still won't go.
A nice save.
Yeah, the Trojans with good hustle make a nice play to get the rebound, and here comes Manesh. Inside feed. Zobek. No. J.R. Jurek, though, manages to hang onto the ball and gets the foul call. Foul goes on Adam Novak of Linn-Mar. The ball will go out of bounds to the Trojans. Michael Walker on the inbound. Trojans continue to work hard on the perimeter, looking for the good shot, forcing the Lions to play defense. Roosh, Manesh on the floor, drives.
Zobek is not going to do anything out there, so he just is a release pass. Here's again where the disciplined offense of Coach Steve Bergman. Take your time. If you can't get the shot you want it, you're disciplined enough and have patience enough to bring it back out. And this is where
Zobek to the hole. Maybe felt the pressure a little bit from Kemple and didn't score it. Well, the other side of that same thought, Gary, is that even if you don't score, you've taken 45 seconds that Linn-Mar didn't have to score.
Usually against a high-scoring team, I'm sure they want to limit the possessions, and that's what you do by working for that good shot.
Inside Nelson, he likes that spot. That's 2 in a row, I think, for Andy Nelson there on the baseline. Short little jumper off of the baseline by the big 6'11" kid that's headed to Wyoming.
He's got some nice touch when he just catches it.
He does. Looks
like
very comfortable. So the margin is now 8.
I think this is a big possession this early in the game, even though it's early, is not to drop down double figures by 10 here for Iowa City.
Brokmanesh goes to the hoop and gets fouled. He'll get a chance to shoot a couple. Foul goes to Adam Novak. Take a break on the floor. Take a quick look at the Lions here. We'll be back after this from your local station as Andy Nelson hits a little jumper. Linn-Mar with an 8-point advantage here, and not only are the guys on the court working hard, you better believe the fans are working hard. A good crowd from both Linn-Mar and Iowa City West on hand, and you know, they did all their warm-ups. They had the face paint, they had the basketball heads, you know. I don't know if they've got coaches or not, but
young Ben already knows when that red light goes on. You see that? He brought out his Linn-Mar towel.
Out of the timeout, Iowa City West will look to convert, and they do. The 3 ball from Roosh, Cody Roosh.
That's a big basket.
40% from the 3-point line, but doesn't really take all that money. 16 of 40 coming in to the tournament. The Trojans will try to settle back and play good defense. Kemple looks inside, finds his man, and they'll convert. Drew Olmstead gets the ball off the little pass and is able to score it.
Olmstead, a 10-point a game scorer, had 11 points, one over his average in the first game, hitting 2 out of 5 from the 3-point line, so very consistent. Good.
Roosh on the baseline gets trapped. Can't get it to go there. Rick Carter not able to find his way to the hole.
The Trojans have got it in deep a number of times. They haven't been able to finish it off. You don't know whether that's that extra size that bothers the shot. You're thinking about those big guys in there.
Out of bounds, it'll come back to Iowa City West. Coach Bergman has the freshman Jordan Sturmer back in the game. I was just looking, you know, Ali Farokmanesh averages 14 points, and he's been saddled with just 5 so far in this game. He's on the bench right now, and Sturmer led him in scoring at the half. He's got him back in the game.
In fact, he was the leading scorer.
He was
at 5 points.
Yes, he was.
Had it balanced out pretty well.
Roosh gets
Tough
forced
shot.
to pull up over the defense, can't get it. Great tap, Trojans hang on to it.
They just fight you for every possession. They fight it all the way. They never just give up and start down court. They're fighting that basketball.
Play's never over. Out of bounds off of the Trojans, and this time it'll go to Linn-Mar Marion. Michael Walker's going to check back in.
Well, we got Cody Roosh limping off, and I think he turned an ankle. And down, he's laying down over the floor. There you see him. Wincing a little pain.
Yeah, definitely.
12 points in the first game for Steve Bergman. So look at the coach come out there, check him out. That would be a loss to this club.
It would be. It would be. Roosh averages just about 7 a game, but just one of those players that you want to have on the floor, just is in the flow of the game to make smart plays, wise decisions. Looks like they're going to sit him down right there and take a look at it.
Yeah, they'll check it out, and a lot of times you can strap it up. I can remember playing with one. The trainer taped it so tight when I went out to warm up, I almost wanted to cry. It hurts me. Because just when I finally loosened up a little bit, I couldn't cut, but I could run straight ahead.
Stretch the tape out a little bit. Bohannon on the floor. Oh, gets it knocked away by the freshman Sturmer. But the Lions will still get a chance to score as they'll head to the free throw line. Nice little play there by Sturmer. And sent him to the free throw line for the first time in this ball game. That's Andy Kemple. Of course, Kemple at 6'7", 260 catches your eye, and indeed he's caught the football coach's eyes. He'll play at Iowa coming up after he finishes his high school career. And Kemple sweetly converts both. Kemple just a 39% free throw shooter, but made it look easy there. And the Linn-Mar advantage is back to 9. Winding down here in the third quarter. Farouk Manesh back in the ball game now for the Trojans.
Alex Craig has done a nice defensive job on Farouk Manesh. With some other guys on him too, but boy, he just cannot get a really good open cut at that basket.
Blake Zundel pulled down the board there for Linn-Mar. That's Bohannon, nifty little move inside to Kemple, gets it blocked, gets his own rebound, and will get a chance to go back to the free throw line. Sticking with the play inside there, and it'll work for Kemple. Actually, they call it on the floor there. My bad, I thought maybe they gave him the shot, but they call it on the floor.
That's where Iowa City West is going. When the big guys get it, if they bring it down, they're going after that ball, and that's why they haven't gotten to the foul line, because they're fouling them before they get in the act of shooting.
On the inbound, Blake Zundel gets mugged from behind. Just the fourth personal. Back out of bounds. In the lineup now for Iowa City West, Yashin Deo steps in and replaces Krishillis, Ben Krishillis.
There's the Iowa City defense again. You know, those are important things in games. You force a timeout. It might be a timeout late in the game, which Linn-Mar would like to have in a clutch situation. So defense coming up big again.
Well, when you're in this kind of a game and you know you're going to have limited opportunities, every one like that you can get to go your way is just key. It may not look like it at this point, but as you say, it can be a key.
It'll be interesting to see 49.9 seconds here in the third quarter whether Linn-Mar elects to go for that one shot again. And I think it's important for Iowa City West to come up with a good defensive stand this time, a good defensive position, keep them from going in that double-digit lead.
One of these teams will play Bettendorf in the 4A final on Saturday. Coming up tonight, the 1A and the 2A championships will be decided. And what a lineup we've got. Iowa Mennonite still unbeaten against North Mahaska. Their coach on at halftime of the game said, "We are the Hoosier story of this year's tournament." Great story to tell you about his kids. The 2A title game then, Nottoway Valley at 26-0, still unbeaten against Orange City Unity Christian. The Knights, a team that has had more than a few trips to the state tournament at 26-1. Those games begin at 6:30, so the first of two of 4 championship trophies will be handed out a bit later tonight. Great night of basketball still to come, Gary. Coach Bergman doesn't look very happy right there. That's Deo. Oh, what a foul call there. Yashin Deo tries to take it to the hole wisely, and the defense will converge and called on the ground.
But again, little plays like that are important in picking up fouls to put you that much closer. Although Linn-Mar doing a good job, only 3 team fouls, and they put you closer to the 1-and-1. There they got an isolation situation with Heflin again. They turns it down.
Rookmanesh with a floater inside that won't go. Nelson pulls down the board.
Boy. That's one of those deals. Nelson came out of there and he cleared it out.
Here you'll see it here. The left elbow comes up and catches Heflin right across the chops.
I noticed Mark Hutchinson, this is a good touch. He went to Nelson and says, hey, none of that. Just come out of there with 2 hands strong and swing the basketball. Don't be swinging that elbow.
Just don't elevate the elbow.
Right.
Yeah. Bohannon breaking down the defense, and Krishillis will, not Krishillis, but Jordan Sturmer will commit the foul. Sends Bohannon to the line for 2.
We've said a lot about this little freshman, Jordan Sturmer, but
kidding.
here again, he's covering on Bohannon, and he's right there with him.
Putting the freshman on the best guy on the court.
Right. The only one thing is a lot of times a shooter like that, it's hard to stop. Get up there, don't try to block the shot. Keep your hands, let him miss it himself. This guy is a good free throw shooter.
Yeah, 83% for the year coming into the tournament.
So you want to make him make the shots. You want to make him shoot it under pressure. Try and maybe change the shot, but don't take him off the hook and put him on that free throw line at 83%.
You forget sometimes that Jason is a junior. A lot of coaches in the eastern side of the state don't look forward to having to face him for another year. Game plan against him for another full season.
9 seconds. This would be a big basket momentum play for Iowa City West to come up.
Get it back to single digits, and they're going to turn it over. See if Linmar tries to make one long full court pass. They will. Nelson gets it and can't score it, but boy, they made a great play out of it. So it's 42-31. Linmar has extended their advantage to 11 at the half. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of the second 4A semifinal right after this. Number 1 ranked Linmar Marion is 8 minutes away from getting a chance to defend their 4A state championship of a year ago. We'll find out if they can get it done as Iowa City West looking to make up in the 11-point deficit here as we head to the fourth quarter. Be interesting to see if the Trojans have to pick up the pace now, Gary. They like to play it a slower. They're going to have to become a little more aggressive.
I think they'll start out. They've got plenty of time to doing what they do best. Try and take some patience, make sure they get the good shots. The ironic thing about that third quarter was Bohannon only had 2 points. They had a 5-point lead at halftime, and yet they extended it to 11, with him only getting 2. Just the defense of Linmar, we talked about Iowa City West defense, but Linmar's defense has been tough too because it's been tough to get shots, and that's the area, and I think the size has bothered a little bit. You adjust your shot a little bit because of the big guys. They haven't been able to convert on the inside shots.
Misses at both ends of the court, and now here comes Iowa City West with Farouk Manesh on the dribble. Right, takes his man to the hoop, goes up, and he'll get a chance to shoot free throws. Ali Farouk Manesh will go to the free throw line. And now let's check this key stat brought to you by Menards.
We see the shooting. Linmar's held it kind of in there 49%.
Yep.
Iowa City West went down 10 percentage points in that third quarter, so that's a factor. Turnovers
will still hurt them. Turnovers 2-1 against Iowa City West as Farouk Manesh hits the first of 2 free throws.
Rebounding, they continue to stay in there, is what we thought they had to do, is stay close rebounding, give themselves a chance. They just did not hit those in-close shots.
Farouk Manesh hits the second end. You mentioned Michael Walker, whose dad is on the basketball team. Farouk Manesh's mother, the volleyball coach at the University of Iowa. Right. Plenty of connections to the University of Iowa there.
Now we get Cody Roos back in the lineup. He went off with that sprained ankle. They evidently took him back and got it taped up, so he's back in there. Gives him a little offensive punch. As we said, he had 12 points in that first game.
Foul called on the inbound there against Iowa City West. Jordan Sturmer's tagged with the personal. It's his second, and it sends Drew Olmstead to the free throw line. Olmstead 83% free throw shooter for the senior. Perfect rotation on the ball. When it comes off the fingertips, it's when you get it stroked the way you're supposed to, you can tell it's in before it's barely off your fingers.
And then if it isn't pure, you've got that softness to it to lay up there and a little spin and roll. I'll tell you, a kid that plays for Iowa State now, Curtis Stinson, is one of the guys with the soft, he gets that teardrop shot they talk about. I don't know how many baskets that guy's got. More than he's hit clean, I think, that just lay around and bounce once or twice and then drop in, just because he's got that really soft touch.
Iowa City West facing the 11-point deficit as we play on here in the fourth quarter. Kershillis with the ball.
Well, again, this Linmar defense, it's tough penetrating when they've been able to penetrate. I don't want to whip a dead horse here, but they've been having trouble once they get in there finishing off. This is the kind of shots. Now they finally get one down. That's what they've got to do, and that's where your percentage goes up.
That's Sturmer. Mistake from Sturmer, the freshman, with the hoop. Tell you what, the guys in the post are really working hard. Nelson working hard there against Jurek. I think Nelson just got the foul call against him that time.
Probably it's one of those little, look at him shake his head, frustration fouls. He feels like he should have knocked the shot down, doesn't get it down, and then you go back and you see so many times young kids, that doesn't matter whether it's young kids or college kids, do the same thing. Come back and commit a foul, or in the case of turnover sometimes, lose the ball, come back and make a foul.
Watch Jurek work on the inside here. The last possession for Iowa City West, he was really working hard to seal off Nelson and ask for the ball. That's Kashillis. Can't get it to right.
They needed that. Need something good to fire up, and also to fire up their fans. They get that adrenaline going. Yeah, it's quiet on that side.
Bohannon puts it on the floor. Oh, gets the blocking call. Boy, it looked like he might have been set.
Yeah, that. You know, I'm going to say something. I took a peek and cheated a little bit up at the replay board, and that was a good call.
Was it?
Yep. He was moving in on him, and I learned this in a big game. I was working an NCAA game, Kentucky and UAB, and I had a call that I thought right in front of me that was absolutely a charging foul. They ran it back the same way, and I said, see what I mean? He missed that call. He said, wait, Gary, we got another angle. And it came back, and the official made the right call. And there was a technical on the play, too. Gene Bartow's coaching at UAB, and he was hot about it, but it was the right call. And so angles are so important where you see it.
It's so easy to sit at the side and think you see it.
Yeah.
Guys with the stripes really are right in position 99% of the time.
And of course, fans, whoever you're rooting for, you look at it through rose-colored glasses. You want it your way.
We're counting it down in the second 4A semifinal. We'll be back. See what happens right after this. Iowa City West with an 11-point deficit. They're going to try to make up in 5:48 against the defending 4A state champion, Linn Marion. Iowa City West gets the ball on the inbound. Look to make a good quality possession, and now time does become a bit of a factor, Gary. Still plenty of time, but look for him to maybe pick up the pace. Inside, Jurek faces up against the defense and gets it.
And, you know, Blake Zundell did a nice job right there. He kept his hand straight up, did not commit the foul. The guy made a tough shot. Walker, they've done a good job on Bohannon in this second half. Still only 2 points.
Yeah. Drew Olmstead manages to get it right below the iron there, waits patiently, and the Trojans don't commit the foul.
And that gives him 12 for the game, and that's 2 over his average.
There's Jurek again working strong inside against Kempel, and he gets to go to the line for a couple.
And the plus of that is he gets 2 free throws, and that puts 6 fouls on Linn-Mar. So now you move that up to the next time it's a 1-on-1 situation the rest of the game for them, and that's important for them in a catch-up position.
Jurek gets the kind roll off the front of the iron.
You saw Jurek there kind of move in. I think he thought it was short, but he got the front rim, and he was kind of begging it in, and he got an answer.
71% free throw shooter. Can't get the second one to go, but the Trojans do come up with the rebound as Walker hauls it down.
This team just plays with a lot of tenacity, Iowa City West, going for loose balls and staying right there.
There's the freshman again, Sturmer. Sturmer hits the 3. He's got double digits, 10 points in this game. It's a 7-point deficit. Bohannon on the drive, gets through the defense, can't get it. The putback won't go, and here comes Walker.
He got numbers if he goes to the middle.
Sturmer again, can't get it, keeps his composure, gets the putback. And I tell you what, Coach Hutchison wants the timeout.
And he's hot about something down at this end. He's at the officials' bench.
Here's Sturmer again. Watch the replay. Sets.
Really squared up right there. They got the pick inside. Now he hustles back in. Look at him hustle back on the defensive end.
Jordan Sturmer, 6'1", 155-pound freshman. But the big lights and big-time play of the state tournament haven't affected him at all, as he's now got 12 points in this game.
They got the scoreboard wrong. They're finally going to get it corrected, yeah.
Yep. 48-43 as the difference is now 5. Two teams that have waited to play each other, no doubt about that. Told you earlier, tell you one more time here that Iowa City West, the only team to beat Linn-Mar during the regular season. It was a 61-58 win for the Trojans. That was 13 games ago. Now the state tournament bracket has worked out that they get a chance to collide head-to-head again, and obviously just a little more on the line this time. There's your fourth quarter scoring, 12-6 Iowa City West, doing exactly what they had to do.
Momentum switching here a little bit right now in favor of Iowa City West. And listen to this crowd behind us. We talked about them being quiet. Well, this team with Sturmer, 2 3-pointers, responded all.
Nice pitch. Yeah. Zundel finds the big kid Nelson inside. He scores it. After the timeout, that's exactly what you want to have happen, too. Set something up and score. Cut the run. Take the crowd maybe out of it just a hair. We're going to get an offensive foul called inside on Jurek.
Steve Bergman not happy. Some kids moving on that pick.
Actually, they called that on Michael Walker inside, not Jurek. We'll take another break. It's a 7-point deficit for Iowa City West. We'll be right back after this from your local stations. Well, as you'd expect, Iowa City West has kept its composure, not been at all wrapped up in the runs that Linn-Mar has put up on the board. And the Trojans with a chance now down 7 with just under 4 minutes to play to force the issue in this 4A semifinal. After the offensive foul before the timeout, Drew Olmstead will go to the free throw stripe here for the Linn-Mar club. Olmstead's first one, obviously they're good. 83% from the line.
Here's an interesting thing. Show you these teams how they play. Fast break points. Iowa City West has no fast break points. Linn-Mar got 2.
Wow. You would never guess that the way that Linn-Mar runs the floor either, would you?
Both teams extremely well coached, and I'll tell you, the quality of Iowa high school basketball is something else. I'm enjoying watching these kids play.
We expected 2 good semifinals, and indeed we've got them. Barokanos drives, can't get it to go. Tough shot there. Yeah. Bohannon pulls down the board.
He has not been able to find any good looks, and he's their only player that's in double figures on the season.
On the average, yeah. That's Nelson. He likes that shot. Boy, I tell you what, he just loves that spot on the floor.
Got a nice soft touch.
Got to be at least 4 for him in that position.
6'11", 225. Got a lot of basketball ahead of him at Wyoming.
Trojans need a hoop. They're down 11 again. Jordan Sturmer not afraid to pull the trigger. I tell you what, he is salty. Coach Bergman's going to take the timeout. I tell you what, that kid has drawn more than a little attention. Ice water in the veins. It gave him a bit of an open look. Dean Olmstead had the defense, but Sturmer says, so what?
And he kind of backs him off. And what's important about that for young players, think of Sturmer. He has gone on the drive a few times. So now as a defensive man, when you have to respect that drive, you're in a one-on-one situation, 2:40 to go trying to protect. You lay off a little, and he gives a little move like he's going to drive, and then he draws back and shoots the open shot. So good weapon for a freshman. Man, Steve Bergman is going to be happy to have this guy around for another 3 years.
Yeah, he's got something to build around, and there's, you know, you look at his lineup, Bohannon, or excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong side there. Coach Bergman with plenty of juniors, what I'm trying to say. For Farouk is a junior. Walker is a junior. So he's got some juniors to put in the lineup. Rick Carter is a junior there as well. Something tells me Sturmer probably be starting next year, though, not coming off the bench. Okay, let's see what happens.
You know, from a coaching standpoint, unless there's just a world of difference, and I don't know anything about it because I haven't been around him, but just observing, Steve Bergman probably a great situation to keep this kid coming off the bench as a freshman, keep the pressure off him. Now, if he was head and shoulders above somebody else, then he's going to play him.
And he just showed it again as Sturmer pulls off the steal on the inbounds. They're not able to convert it, but Jordan Sturmer continues to dazzle. Might be too much to dazzle to get back into the win column, but we'll find out here in the next 2.5 minutes. On the drive, Drew Olmstead can't get it. Time of the essence for the Trojans.
Mark Hutchinson's club just answers the call all the time. There's the first kind of halfway wide open shot in the second half.
They're going to tag Michael Walker with the body on Bohannon.
Not the guy normally you'd want at that line, 83% in this situation.
Well, it seems that Linn-Mar has made a living at the free throw line in the second half, Gary. I might be wrong, but it just, what did I do here the last time? 10 of 10, second half.
Second half.
Yep, 10 of 10 in the second half. There's another one.
You recall we talked about it that I think it was Kemple with 1:27 to go in the third quarter was the first free throws that Linn-Mar had shot at that time.
Bohannon gets both and moves his point total to 15 now in the game. One of 3 double-digit scores, 14. The Lions with 3 players now with 14 points in the book.
The Trojans right now got to pick it up a little bit, move a little faster, try and get the shot up. Box against him, trailing by 10 with the 1:40 to go.
Sturmer pulls up, can't get it, draws a little iron, and Farouk is able to get the board. That's Chris Schillis on the right.
Nice pass.
Yeah, beautiful pass inside. R.J. Jurek converts it.
Good job by Jurek there. He felt the defensive man come, just up fake, let him pass through, go over the top of him, and then he waits and lays it in.
Michael Walker forces the turnover against Bohannon. Quick hands, makes the great defensive play, was in position there. It's an 8-point deficit with 1:23 to play. Here's the dish and the inside move as Jurek waits, lets the defender kind of come by him and scores the hoop.
That was Ben Kuchilis that made that pass. Well, look at that defense by Linn-Mar. They're right up, step through, waits for him, nice job, draws the foul.
Jurek will go back to the free throw line. R.J. Jurek, 71% free throw shooter. That's in fact number 2 in attempts on this team, so gets to the line plenty.
He can get these 2 down. You got 1 minute and 8 seconds, which is a lot of time. You're back to a 2-possession game.
Makes the first one.
The other thing about making this free throw right now, it makes it you get a chance to set your defense and go with the press as well.
He gets the second one. They'll come up and deny the inbound. Try to at least. Bohannon gets it though.
Boy, good job of getting out of the double team. Smart play by Bohannon. Not wait for the double team to come and pick you up. He gets rid of it right away before they get there.
They get maybe somebody they wanted to see at the free throw line. Alex Craig gets tagged. They'll go to the line. A 67% free throw shooter. Not bad, not great.
You got the big guy, see, Nelson, he shoots 79%. Bohannon, 83%. Olmstead, 83%.
First and rattles in and out. So
Alex Gregg 67%, so it's your best odds when you play percentages right there for him to be at the line.
Exactly.
Compared to the
Got
other
their
guys.
man. Here's the second one. It's going to rattle in and out as well. And the Trojans come away with it after a mad scramble for the loose ball. 56-50, under 1 minute to play. For Oakmanesh on the drive, looks for some contact and gets it. He'll go to the free throw line.
Things are getting interesting, and Mark Hutchinson is up looking. I think he's getting a little bit more concerned. It looked like this game was salted away. He's questioning the foul. You see him kind of put his hands up because we got our kids instructed to keep their hands up and not foul.
Nelson's going to take a seat. That's his 5th personal foul. Nelson will leave the game with 14 points.
Now what's critical about that with Nelson, we just talked about him, a 79% free throw shooter, and in comes Andy Kemple, 39%, even though he knocked down 2 earlier.
I was just going to say the same thing. They got a switch in personnel that Iowa City West has to like there. For Oakmanesh, an 84% free throw shooter. Can't get the first one to go.
He has had a tough tournament.
Yeah, he really has. If he could make the second, it's a 5-point deficit. And he does. And Iowa City West pressures all over the floor on the inbound, but the Lions manage to get it in.
Here we come with the double.
Not what they wanted to do to send Bohannon to the line there. Michael Walker gets tagged with the foul, and Jason Bohannon will go to the free throw line. Look to put a little bit of a cushion here in what is now a 5-point lead.
Makes a little easier situation right now as you're looking at 2 free throws. Iowa City West over the limit with 10 fouls.
Jordan Printy in the lineup for Linn-Mar as Coach Hutchinson puts in another good free throw shooter. Printy, a 71% free throw shooter and a big body. So he makes both, 58-51. Sturmer pulls up off of the drive, gets it to go, and Bergman will take a quick timeout. Steve Bergman wants to set up his defense. The officials asked, do you want a long one or a short one? And Berkey says, I don't know what I have. Just give me a timeout. Give me some time to talk here. 30.4 to play. Iowa City West trails Linn-Mar by 5. Well, we got a chance. Let's go ahead and look forward. Get a chance to go grab a sandwich and be right back here courtside for our 1A and our 2A championship games tonight. Again, Iowa Mennonite is unbeaten. Likewise, Nordaway Valley unbeaten in 2A, looking to finish out the campaigns perfect and without a loss. And then tomorrow night, 2 more tournament games as the last championship hardware ever to be handed out at Vets before the championships move to a new arena next year. MOC Floyd Valley, after 10 years away from the tournament, comes back and hopes to take home a trophy against Crestwood. You see that matchup, and of course the 4A game. The winner of this one will get Bettendorf coming up in the early game tomorrow night at 6:30. Soaking it in, what has been a great state tournament. Well, Iowa City West and Coach Bergman with a chance to set up a defensive strategy here, get the right personnel in the game. They won't guard the inbounder, and Bohannon, and he's struggling and has to take the timeout. So it worked. They decide to double somebody. Don't face guard the inbounder, and it works.
I always say there's more than one way to skin a cat. A lot of people say you got to put a man on the ball, you know, or else you can take away like they do in double team.
Coach Bergman over there, I swear that was 5 seconds. He chuckles about it.
And you know, if nothing else, what he's doing is he's putting that thought in the referee's mind for now when they come out again and pressure again.
Yep. Bench scoring has been key for Iowa City West. The bench has been active. 25-2. 25-2. Almost half of Iowa City West's points off the bench. Bench has been outscored 28-25. Great performance by Coach Bergman's reserves, including that freshman in Jordan Sturmer, who now has 17 for the 9th grader. Well, let's see if they can set the defense again. Half a minute to play, only down 5.
Now you're talking about 2 possessions. You can win a game.
Exactly. Force a turnover here or get the 5-second count. And again, they'll double up inside the paint. Bohannon's able to get it into Drew Olmstead this time, and the quick foul gets called. Brokmanesh gets tagged.
Nice job there by Mark Hutchison. He gets Bohannon taking it out, and then he gets Drew Olmstead, another 83% free throw shooter. And if he gets it in, he's got Bohannon stepping back in for the return pass, so he's got 2 guys shooting 83% to work with. See him perfect on the line, 4 for 4.
Gets this one as well. Olmstead averaging 10 points a game. He's 5 points over his average in this contest today with 15 on the board. A chance to go for 16 coming up. Linn-Mar looking for the chance to win back-to-back state championships.
That's a big miss because your 2-possession game, they take it right to the hoop.
Oh, they'll shut the clock off and send Sturmer to the line. It's a 6-point game still. There's Jordan Sturmer going to the line strong, going to the lane strong, and
when he gets hacked,
Olmstead takes a big was going to make sure it wasn't going to be a 3-point play. Didn't want to give him the basket. Sturmer makes the first. Coach Hutchison on the sideline saying, be strong with the ball if he misses. Go up and get it. And indeed, Bohannon did. He forced a foul here, I would imagine. And they get Sturmer this time. So the possessions, even though they're not scoring, they're able to get the clock stopped right away. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but they are keeping some time on the clock to get a chance. Get the first one.
Well, this team is making Coach Hutchison sweat because, again, even with this,
still going to be a 6-point spread.
It's a 6-point spread. Now, I think with 19 seconds, you cannot take it to the rack. I think you start to have to look for 3.
Bohannon makes the second, hits his average. He's now got 21 in this game. Here comes Sturmer. He's not going to get rid of it. He's had the hot hand today. Can't get it to go, though. And that might pretty much do it. The quick foul called underneath.
And no problem with that play. I think that's what you had to do. The freshman heads-up play, Sturmer, and he's hit a couple of big threes earlier,
had the
too.
hot hand.
As good as anybody on the outside, and that was a wide-open look.
So Linn-Mar Marion, it looks like they'll get the chance to go for back-to-back titles. Something that hasn't been done since 81 and 82 when Dubuque Wahlert did it. It's been a long time since a team has been able to go back-to-back. Dubuque Wahlert back in the early 80s. Kemple misses the first, still 6 points, but only 12 seconds left in the game. Kemple now gets a chance to make it 7, and he does. Trojans will try to throw up a 3 to cut the deficit, and they do as Michael Walker hits it. They'll get the timeout. Bergeson, I think, or Bergman, I think, thinks maybe the clock could have been shut off just a little quicker. It's a 4-point game. Here's the replay. Walker not going to give it up. Takes the long range 20-footer and gets it to go.
You know, so many times it's easier to knock down threes when a game's in a position where you've got to shoot them. You know, if it's a clutch time, you're 3 down or 1 down, or
there's no
in a game
should
like
I,
that.
could I? It's
but so many times you see last second desperation 3-point shots go in because the guy's got no pressure. He's throwing it up, doesn't make any difference, and so you kind of relax and loose and you knock him down.
There's no thought process.
Nope.
Is the coach going to yell at me if I try to throw this one? I got to get it up.
Exactly right.
Much easier then. Well, this thing still isn't over. I've seen games won in 6 seconds. It's kind of crazy when it happens, but it could still happen. This time Linn-Mar opts to spread the floor with their inbound setup. 3 men in the backcourt. They'll come running to the inbounder, Bohannon, who still hasn't had a... Makes the long pass to Kemple. They don't give the foul, and that will do it. Linn-Mar will win it. Linn-Mar wins it as Jordan Printy has the last basket. But Linn-Mar Marion, the defending 4A state champ, is going to get the chance to go back and win a second. 63-57. The final here. Linn-Mar Marion, who a tournament tested without a doubt and has been on a roll. 23-1 coming into today's game. 27-0 over 2 years until they were knocked off earlier this year by Iowa City West. And 39 of their last 40 games, the Lions have managed to put a check in the win column. Twice champions here in the state of Iowa. Most recently a year ago, and they'll get to have a chance tomorrow against Bettendorf. It'll be number 1 Linn-Mar, the 2nd seed, up against number 2 ranked Bettendorf, but the number 1 seed on strength of schedule. We should have a dandy tomorrow night. We should have a dandy tonight as well, as both the 1A and 2A championships are yet to come. But before we do all that, get a chance to talk to a couple of the principals from this second 4A semifinal. Is Gary Thompson standing by with some members of the Linn-Mar Marion team, including Coach Mark Hutchinson. Gary?
I'm with Coach Mark Hutchinson. And Mark, 2 great teams, 2 fine teams. I know they beat you. You got even. This team made you sweat right down to the last one. It looked like you had to put it away with about 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they sure did. You know, Iowa City West is a fine basketball team. Not only are they skilled players, but they're well coached. You know, the time management there at the end, being able to put us at the foul line and stop the clock and get some scores at the foul line so that they were scoring with the clock stopped. They really did a nice job there. But, you know, you got to admire the fight those kids had.
Mark, congratulations. Nice win. You go for 2 champions in a row tomorrow night.
We'll give her a shot.
All right, we're going to move over to this young man, Jason Bohannon. One of the fine passers I've ever seen who sees the open people. What were they doing to you at the start of the second half? Because you only got 2 points and limited your touches, look like.
A lot of times when I drove, they started double teaming and stuff, but you just got to keep finding the open man. Our team does a great job finding the open spots, and you just got to give them the ball and they'll always finish for you.
Well, you had trouble getting to the free throw line in this game. I think it was 1:27 to go in the 3rd quarter before Kemple got there, but it was the free throwing that got you over the hump down the stretch, and you were part of that.
Yeah, Coach really stressed all year that free throw shooting will be a key part in the end of the season. You know, he's told Andy all year that he needs to work on his free throw shooting, and he had a big one down the end to make it a 3-possession game.
They talked about Iowa City West and defense. Man, your guys' defense is pretty tough, too.
Iowa City West has a great ball club. Everything they do is great. Coach Bergman's a great coach, and they just got a great team this year.
Well, good luck. As I said to Coach Hutchinson, you got a chance to go for 2 in a row.
Well, thank you. We hope so. It'll be a good game tomorrow night.
All right.
Thank
nice to have you with us. Now let's go back to Tim.
All right, thanks, Gary. Indeed, lots to look forward to tomorrow night. Lots to look forward tonight as well. You just saw the 1A and the 2A matchups there on the screen that will come up tonight. Earlier today, Sioux City East unable to knock off Bettendorf in the first of these 4A semifinals, and as we just saw, Linn-Mar a winner. The 1A championship right there, Iowa Mennonite and North Mahaska. Saw the 2A matchup coming up tonight as well. And then tomorrow, 2 more title games in 3A. It's MOC Floyd Valley up against Crestwood of Cresco. And now the 4A matchup is set. Linn-Mar Marion at 24-1 against Bettendorf. It's number 1 versus number 2 for a state title in 4A. We'll be back later tonight with the first of our championship games in Class 1A.
only until March 31st at